Hey guys, it's me Stace. Welcome to today's video. Today I want to share with you my design team project for Maymay Made It. We'll be making this really fun Christmas tree. There's the outside there, and then we have the inside. Alright, so to get started you will need a piece of cardstock. This measures 4 1/4 by 11 and I scored that at 5 1/2. Our card will open up top to bottom like a calendar. Now I do recommend using a cream or a brown color because I want to use the same color here for the trunk of my tree. So I have a scrap of that same color. You will need white, 2 of these that measure 4 by 5 1/4, and a large scrap of white as well to create the tree. The stamps that we are using is called Baubles and Bling. We'll be using that strain of lights here, the greenery, and also that large greeting. We're going to start with our large piece of white, and what I want to do is fold this in thirds, like a small third, just so I'm able to cut a half of a triangle out. So score that with your bone folder. Take a pair of scissors and go ahead and cut out half of a triangle. Alright, I'm going to see if that is about the same size as this one. I want to go a little bit wider. You can also cut this out of copy paper so you're not wasting cardstock to kind of get the tree shape. And then once you have the tree shape you like, you can take that folded piece right here and then put that on your cardstock that way and then cut it out that way. Alright, let's see how we did. I think we're pretty good there. I think we're pretty close. Okay. Alright, so we have that. Now I want to take this and cut this out, leaving me a large enough area here to use this as a stencil. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using that for. I'm using green ink. This is Mossy Meadow by Stampin' Up. Any green ink you have is fine, and we're going to be using those 2 small greenery pieces right here. I have both of them on my block going the direction I want. Now this is a rather dark ink, so I'm going to stamp off. Get another scrap of paper here. I'm going to ink up my green, stamp off, and then on here. Stamp off, on. And all I'm doing here is just roughly filling this in. Okay, now when I have that mostly filled in, I'm going to go back and do the same exact thing, ink up my ink or my stamp, ink it off, and then fill it in. Just by turning the stamp, going different directions, and by doing that, because we're going over already existing green, it gives us a little bit darker greenery on our tree. Just go all different ways. The nice things about Christmas trees is they're not always perfect, but they're always pretty. That'll be the question of the day today. Do you guys use artificial trees or do you guys like the real trees? Alright, so get that how you like it just by playing around with it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Ink right there a little bit, and also a little bit more right there. Alright, so there's our tree. Set that aside. And by the way, we use an artificial tree. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is take this and we're going to grab our strain of lights already on my block here. I'm going to grab the black Memento ink, and all I'm going to do here is create our lights. Kind of go on a little bit of angle, rotate my image as well so all the lights aren't going the same way. And we're going to color these in. I'll be using the Spectrum Noir markers, but you can use any kind of marker you like. You can even use colored pencils. And I have 5 of them here. And the first one I have is the red, which is the lipstick color. And just go in here and color the lights in. Okay, next I have a darker green. This is called Forest Green. It's darker than the green I used for my tree. And we'll do So we'll leave that one alone. We'll come back if we need it. Then I have a dark brown, which is the maple color. Then we have the yellow, which is the gold. And what I like about doing it this way is that you still see the greenery behind the lights. Kind of like on a real tree, you know? All right. Next we have our blue, which is pearl blue. I think I got all the lights. Now I'm going to take a Crayola marker, just in their gray color, and color in the bulb part, the silver part of the bulb for each light. Really simple card to mass produce as well. Once you already have that stencil cut out, you're good to go. It's a cute card, very whimsical. Alright, we have that. I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I have the clear, and just go in there and color in some of the bulbs to give them that little sparkle effect. You can also use glitter if you want to. I'm not being too precise here, just kind of roughly coloring those in. Alright, we're going to set that aside for one moment and grab our piece for the inside, the 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to bring in my scrap. I'm going to grab that same strand of lights and the black ink. Ink that out really well. I'm going to ink this toward the bottom of my card, or the inside piece there. I'm going to rotate my stamp and then hopefully be able to connect them. Yeah, not too bad. Alright, again, same process. Go in and color these guys in as well. You can use whatever coloring tool you like, whether it be markers or even, you know, crayons or Crayola markers, pencils. I just think it's kind of fun to play. All right, let's grab that dark green color here. And I'll do another one over here. And we have that maple color, which is a darker brown. And we have the gold. And again, we're going to go back in with that gray marker to color the silver part of the bulb. Okay, and then lastly with our Wink of Stella, one more time on these guys. And again, I'm being pretty rough with it, just so it adds a little bit of shine to it. Alright, go ahead and set that aside. Actually, while we're here, let's grab our greeting, okay? So I'm using the greeting, that long one. It says, "Sending you happiness only Christmas can bring." And this does fit perfectly straight across, but knowing me, I'll stamp it crooked. So I'm going to put it on my block and put it on my block crooked. I'm going to bend it a little bit. The nice thing about using photopolymers is that you can kind of maneuver them how you like them. Okay, so it's kind of all wiggly like that. I'm going to ink up my stamp, and also my finger, I just dipped it in the ink. Ink it up really well. And then stamp this on the bottom part of my card here. And I think adding that little bit of curve to it gives that part interest, so it's not always so straight, you know. Alright, we're done with the ink. Let's go ahead and close that. Let's grab, while I'm here, I want to take that gold marker, and I'm going to use the larger tip of it. And just do like that. Okay, because I want to color that in with the Wink of Stella on top of that as well. And I'm going to use this for my star. Now if you want to, you can freehand a star out, but I can't cut a straight line, let alone a star. So what I'm going to do is use a star punch. This is just a small one from Stampin' Up. And punch that out. So we have that for the tree. Alright, let's go back to our tree. All we're going to do here is tear our cardstock along the tree. And by doing this, it's going to create a white outline, almost like a shadow. So I'm just tearing it right along the edge. I'm not being too careful with it, but I'm not being too loosey-goosey either. Just take your time with it. Okay, so we have that end. I'm going to do this one. This is a whimsy card, so if you're not perfect, it's okay. I think it just adds more interest to it. Okay, and then last we're going to do this side over here. You can also cut it out for a more streamlined, straight tree. Very comforting though to tear paper. Alright, just about at the top, I want to kind of keep my point there. Okay, there's our tree. Isn't that cute? I'm actually going to trim this a little bit here. Okay, there we have. There's our tree. We're going to take that same color cardstock that we were using for the base of the card. I'm going to tear this and tear it again for the trunk of our tree. You just need like a little smidgen of that. Take your liquid glue. I'm using art glitter glue from Maymay Made It. Put some glue on the back of that guy. Then line this with the back of the tree how you like it. Just like that. I'm going to tear this a little bit more. It's kind of crooked and it's bothering me a little bit. There we go. Alright, so we have that done. I'm going to flip that over and add some foam squares to it. And I'm going to go overboard. I always do. Make sure you get one at the very top along your sides and the corners. I think I'll do one more in the center. I'm going to grab that little star I got over here. And I'm going to grab a smaller foam square for that. Okay, let's take all these guys, bring in our card front, which is right here. Now you can always save this and use it too for another card. I'm going to take this and glue this to the front. Get that on there, straight, centered, or crooked if that's how you're going. Alright, open that up. I'm going to take the inside of our card, which we already did already. And we're going to put this on the inside. Try not to smudge it. I'm known to smudge. Now you know if I were to make this card and if I had a smudge in here, I would go back and take a little tissue paper or paper toweling and very lightly go in the ink colors I use on the outside, and then purposely kind of smudge it to where it looks like it's supposed to be that way. It will kind of hide the smudge. Good little trick. I've done it numerous times. I'm going to go ahead and put that pin back in my glue. Alright, let's grab our tree. Isn't this cute? It's so easy. All them backings off. I didn't squish them and they're coming off pretty easy. I might tell you guys to give them a little squish. These ones are pretty good. Alright, gonna put this on here like that. Let's grab our star, and that quick, our card's done. What are we at? 15 minutes. Not that quick, but it's good. It goes by pretty quickly. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of shove this up here somewhere. Like that. Isn't that cute? How fun, right? So there's the outside, and then we have the inside. So there you have it, my friends, today's video. Any questions at all, please let me know. As always, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.